My name is Sonny Mayo. I play guitar in Ugly Kid Joe.
Right. You started off in a thrash band called Silence. Are you still a fan of thrash metal?
Yeah, sure, man. I don't listen to it as much. That's amazing that you did that research.
Yeah.
And I did, yeah. Some of the stuff I can dig on these days, for sure, but I don't listen to it as much. I can definitely listen back and go, legit. I was just talking to Whit on the way. There's a certain style of, I guess you could call it speed metal nowadays, where it's probably, for me, it's a bit lost in the vocal, where it gets to get a little bit whiny.
Growl.
Kind of the whine, they do the hardcore growl
Yeah.
or scream, and then they kind of do the whinier melodic stuff. Not my cup of tea necessarily.
No, the music's fantastic most of the time.
It's incredible, Yeah.
Are you still in contact with the other band members?
Of Silence?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. My friend Ben Gaither, who was the singer, Louis Denslow, who was a guitar player, still dear friends of mine. They're lifelong friends, and Tim McMillan is the greatest guitar player that ever walked the earth. Just throwing it out there. Oh, hey Tim. But yeah, I do keep in touch with my old friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Still in bands at all?
No, man. I'm the one guy that continued. I moved to California. I was in Virginia with those guys, and I moved to California in 1995 to join the band Snot, and those guys continued on their path, and they still do some. Louis is one of the most exceptional guitarists, students of the guitar that I've ever met. He continues to play, but he works in an office. They both do.
You played here a few months ago with Snot, didn't you?
I did not do that tour. I was not able to do that tour. No, the nature of my career now is I work in music therapy. I have a company called Rock to Recovery, where we go into treatment centers and write and record music in real time, live, with people that are in treatment. It doesn't matter if they're musicians or not, and we write recovery-based, inner strength type of music. And so that's my job. That's my full-time job. And so I have to pick and choose my touring as I can. So I did do a tour in the States with Snot in December of last year, but then I was unable to do I just couldn't do it. I wasn't able, and I already had this tour set up, and so I wasn't able to do it. I did see the sticker in the dressing room though. Yeah.
Do they have someone sitting?
Yeah, a guy named Mike Smith. Yeah. In fact, he's sat in for me before. It's funny. We're all basically one big band. I fill in for Dave Fortman, who's not out of the band. He's just unable to tour, and so I fill in for him. And then as a result of me filling in for him, now I write and record music with these guys too, which we did the latest record. I wrote and recorded a bunch of stuff. We flew out to the swamp. There were 7 of us, as you may have read. We were all there. So it's in there. I figured it was coming. I don't want to jump ahead too far. But and I will, I'm sure, play some more shows with Snot as it's available to me. But the nature of that band is I don't know if Mikey, he's running the show, I'm not sure if he wants to work on some new music again or what it is, but I'm sure I'll be there jamming. Those are my boys, so I'll be jamming with them again at some point.
When you got some spare time.
When I can feel, when it makes sense, really. Yeah.
You're an emu. Yes, it's true. Oh, sorry.
It's true. I am an emu.
Going back to your first band, Silence, do you still have a copy of your debut album?
I do have one copy, not on me, but but I do have. In fact, a guy, I think the guy that did, who was it? Might have been the guy who did the album cover artwork. Uploaded the entire album onto YouTube recently. Silence. It's called Vision. This is from 1990, 91. I was 19. So it's like.
A long time ago.
Just understand.
The first
teenagers
CDs coming through, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Our singer was my best friend Ben, 17. Kids. Writing 7.5-minute songs. You could have gotten 3 songs out of 1. But we were like, let's do a breakdown and then a build up, and it turns into a whole new song. Like kind of the opus kind of. Metallica did it with like the Orions and stuff like that. Long,
classic tunes in there.
Really long songs. That we did that whole.
Was it any good?
Is it any good? I would say for 19-year-old kids, it's exceptional. Yeah.
Is there any reason that didn't go any further?
It just kind of As far as I wanted to go, I wanted to move. I wanted to get out, and so I ended up moving to California.
Smelly at the moment.
at the same time.
I gave my man a little suggestion last night. Just consider maybe doing laundry. Just consider washing the clothes that smell like cat piss. Mine do too, though, or did. I've done laundry twice in the store.
You haven't got someone doing it for you, then?
Well, I said I've done it. I went, here. And they did, yeah.
How did you get into producing?
Funny enough, well, I think that naturally, if you're a songwriter and you work in a band, with a band, you can naturally get a sense of producing on that level. Really, how I got into it was I was in this band Seven Dust for a while, from 2005 to 2008, and then I was replaced by the original guitar player. And so we did a little Snot reunion for a while, but then I was 38 years old, and I was like, man, I didn't want to necessarily keep on pushing to tour.
Yeah.
So naturally, I had already done some production work. I worked with a lot of great producers, and I'd done a whole bunch of records. So I actually went to school at Musicians Institute in Hollywood. Got a killer scholarship.
Yeah.
They were like, we want you here, come for less money than you would normally have to pay. I was like, so so I went, and really I already kind of had the tools to do the one-on-one production work with musicians, but the insight of not just the new software and stuff that was going on, but how to really approach it as a project, because a producer does way more than sits there and says, try this part, try this, you're rad, yeah, don't do that. You have to organize all this stuff around studio time and getting certain people in at certain times, right? And so I basically was looking for the next level to where I didn't have to travel as much, or try to fight to make it or whatever. Yeah.
You produced the Ugly Kid Joe EP, Stairway to Hell. Is this the first time you met the band?
No. In fact, when I was 1994, I was I am still dear friends with Shannon Larkin.
Yeah.
Shannon got the gig with Ugly Kid Joe. Shannon and I, along with the soon-to-be bass player of Snot, John Fonestock, had a side project together called Motherfucking Pitbulls, aka MF Pitbulls. And so when Shannon got the gig with Ugly Kid Joe, John and I were both like, hey man, if you meet anybody out there that's looking for, a guitar player, a bass player, whatever, let us know. Well, Shannon met Mikey Doling and Len Strait, and they had some local guys that were just starting Snot. I look at Snot like Ugly Kid Joe's little brother.
Yeah.
Where Ugly Kid Joe is like, fuck you. Snot was like, fuck you, right?
Yeah.
Like it was the angrier little brother. So Ugly Kid Joe's like, nah. We were like, break some shit,
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of look at it. But so Mikey and Lynn were just starting it at that time, and met Shannon, and they were like, hey man, we need some real players. We want to really try to do something with this.
Yeah.
And he was like, I got these guys. So John and I both moved to Santa Barbara, started working with Snot, blah, 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 got signed, knew all the guys in Ugly Kid Joe, hung out at Dave Fortman's house, got to know Klaus really well, met Whit here and there, and got to become friends with them.
Yeah.
So years later, like 16 years later, when I was in the studio working on, producing stuff, Shannon called me up and said, hey man, we want you to produce and engineer our record. And it's more co-produced. Really I was hired as the engineer. Right. And then after I worked with Klaus and Whit so much, Dave Fortman, who is the man, was like, yo, anybody that's got to spend that much time in the studio with those clowns is getting production credits. And I was like, thanks, dude. He literally was like, bro, if you got to stay in the studio with those guys, you're getting bigger credits than just engineered.
What's the reason for Dave and Shannon not touring with the band?
They got other stuff they got to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, they can't tour. Shannon's got a lot of stuff. I mean, they both have families.
Yeah.
Like Shannon's got a daughter, teenage daughter. Dave's got a few kids.
Yeah.
He works as a big producer now, mixer, so on.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense.
No.
It just doesn't work.
Did they ever come when you played in America? Did they ever come and watch?
We did do some shows with Shannon.
Right.
They were, I gotta tell you, Martin, the States are not necessarily, not unfriendly, but not a very worthwhile market for Ugly Kid Joe to tour. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
Metallica doesn't even tour in the States. They'll do some shows here and there, but it's tough, dude. And we played some shows. One of them was fantastic, Kansas City. We did this thing for Johnny Dare, this killer Kansas City rock festival. It was fantastic. And then we played a couple other shows, and they just weren't cool, man.
Will they be the same size venues you're playing in the UK?
Yeah. They just weren't cool.
No?
So yeah, so no is the answer. They did not come out and see us, but I did do a couple shows with Shannon, which was great. Because Shannon and I, again, we've known each other for 25 years.
Yeah.
1990, yeah.
You helped writing with the new album and recorded on it. Do you feel like a proper band member now?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Did you before? Just a sort of
I
standing
don't know,
guy?
man. It's because the funny thing is about this band is like, again, it's if you even ask Whit, like, he might have even been the one that coined the phrase. We're all one big dumb band.
Okay.
There's so many of us. There's Ugly Kid Joe. There's Snot, but then there's like little connections with Roy Mayorga from Stone Sour, who was in a band with Mikey Doling, who was in Snot, Soulfly, and then Roy was also in a band with Whit, Medication, and then there's all these connections. You're like, everybody, we're one big dumb band.
These bands, all these contacts, do you meet them on the road, or you're from the same sort of area?
Not like just from touring, but yeah, not from the same area either. Just like making like little connections, and yeah. It's not, there's not one way of saying, oh, we met because we were on tour. Yeah. We met because we were musicians, and then the energies draw us together, and then we ended up playing in all these different projects together, you know.
Yeah.
It's trippy. And then I ended up playing in a band that Roy Mayorga and Mikey Doling were in called A Bloom. They did a reunion. Mikey was on tour in Europe, and so Mikey called me up and was like, dude, Mikey Doling from Snot, you know, and now Channel Zero is the band he has now, which is in Belgium. And he's like, hey man, so Bloom's gonna get back together and do a couple shows. He goes, I don't want anybody else doing it but you. Will you do it? I'm all, yeah, sure, man. So I did a couple shows.
So how easy is that to step in and learn all the guitar parts?
It's pretty easy, man. I'm pretty good at that. Yeah, that's kind of a gift. I would say it's a gift.
Yeah.
I've honed it and I've worked. I'm not like lucky. I'm blessed and I work hard.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. People go, you're so lucky, and it's not like oops. Like all of a sudden, oops. I'm so lucky. I'm blessed, man. And you put yourself in positions to receive things.
Yeah.
And then what do you know? Things come.
So when did you start playing guitar?
Oh, a long, long time ago. Back when Jesus was in short pants.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think I was probably 14 or 15, so somewhere in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, not my first instrument.
No?
Viola was my first instrument.
Mm.
And then saxophone, alto sax.
Are you glad you changed the guitar?
Yeah, I love guitar, yeah. I probably should have been a drummer, though.
Yeah.
But instead I get to play with great drummers.
How much input did you have on the new record?
A lot, yeah. Whatever. Here's the thing, is like there was Dave, Klaus, and Whit, the core, the three core guys. Myself, Cordell Crockett, Zach Morris, and Shannon came in for short periods of time, and we all came to the table with creativity, and it was literally set up that way. Like when Whit, Klaus, and Dave set up, they were like, come in and bring everything you have, and it was about the most calm, ego-less experience I've ever had making a record.
Yeah.
Because it was just people throwing ideas in it. It wasn't, well, this is my idea. It was, hey, here's something. It was almost like we were grabbing stuff, like the ideas were flying by, and you grab one and you go, how about this? Oh no? Okay, let it go. Here's another one. Oh, hey, wait. And then like just literally throwing ideas out and concepts, and then flowing. It was so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the 4 days that I was there, I was in the studio with these guys for the 13 hours that they did every single day for 3 weeks, and it was just idea, all steering the ship together. You know, there was our fearless leader, if you will, Fortman, kind of the litmus test. It was like, and he'd be, and we moved to the next thing, or let's keep rolling with it. You know, there was like the main kind of mindset, but it was a beautiful hive that was moving as one.
I noticed, I've obviously listened to the album. I noticed a couple of them have got a Skid Row sort of start to them. Is that through touring with them?
I would say no. Absolutely 0%. It's rock and roll, man. You know, it's rock and roll. We're all playing power chords with distorted guitars.
Yeah.
So it's
it's only the intro, the sort of build up.
Was there something in particular, like one particular thing?
Track 3, I can't remember what's called off the top of my head.
Oh, I don't either.
No.
Oh wait, let's see. Bad Seed.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. What, the vocal?
No, just that intro riff.
Huh? All right.
Yeah.
It's like
I thought touring with him has rubbed off on you.
nah, I wouldn't think so.
Just a coincidence.
It's just rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
It's just metal. There's only 12 notes you can hit. Did you know that?
No.
There's only 12 notes.
Yeah.
C to C.
Yeah.
That's it. 12 notes, and then you have different instruments to make different sounds.
Yeah.
There's only 12 notes in a scale.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So imagine how many variables
Yeah.
you can. It's a limited amount of variables to write riffs. Why, soldier? Why? I'm all no. 0.
You watched your football the other day in Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Mm-hmm. I did very much. I'd never been to a football game in England before, and such a celebrated sport. Yeah, right. Like football and rugby are like the ones, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. It was. So we were, myself and Whitfield have this thing that we call the marble.
Right.
So if you take a marble and you drop it, the marble will find the groove, and it will just find its place. It'll find its way.
Right.
So we put ourselves in the position to be the marble. So we were in Wolverhampton, and we just had a nice coffee or two, and we hung out a little bit, and then we were like, let's go that way. And we literally ended up like funneling into a line, a queue of people that were going down this thing into this game. And so he looks at me, and so Richard Crane is out here as well, Lee Richards, and then they have Tim McMillan who's playing guitar with them, and Tim was with us, and it was the three of us, and Whit's like, you guys want to go to a football game? We're like, hell yeah. And I'm all about wolves. Like I already have this on my screensaver is already, like I literally had like the wolf head. I was like, yes, I'm supposed to be here. And so the only thing was, we had a great time. The only thing was, should we sit, behind the goal with the Wolves fans, or should we be neutral? And as we were buying tickets, a couple of Wolves fans went by and they said, if it's your first time, just sit. And they gave us a specific section. They go sit in this section, and then you can watch it all happen. So we could see the goal down there and all the crazy, awesome fans. And then we saw Bristol or Brighton they were playing, I think. And they had their own little section across, like a small section. Yeah. And so we got to watch it, and it was great, man. We saw a couple awesome plays. The only thing about soccer or football is it's pretty low scoring.
Yeah.
So it ended up being...
Depends who you watch.
Huh?
Depends who you
watch. I guess
watch.
so, yeah. It ended up being 0-0.
Yeah.
We were only there for 40 minutes or something.
I didn't watch the whole game.
No. It's just part of the experience. We were there. We saw a couple great saves.
Yeah.
Some awesome moves, and then we were like, oh, sound check's in 20 minutes. Let's go.
So did anyone give you advice of where to go? Did anyone recognise you?
In fact, yeah, well, and recognize Whit. Like, literally, as he went in to say, we hold his ticket up, hey, where do we... The guy was like, Mr. Whitfield Crane. And he was all, yeah, I'll see you tonight.
I suppose they pick your accent up as well, don't they? You think,
yeah, probably.
Around here.
Yeah. They go, immediately, wait a second.
Yeah.
It's funny. I like it. I like when people go, look at me like I'm weird. I'm like, no, I'm definitely weird. You're right. And you don't have an accent. I have an American accent. Yeah. You guys don't have English accents. You speak English?
Cornish. A little bit Cornish.
Cornish?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have like regional, I guess, accents.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. We sound like cavemen. Boo, boo, boo. Hi, buddy.
What other things do you get up to while you're on tour?
Claire, if you want to sit down over here.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Yeah. Zach.
Hey guys, it got me, so I'm not gonna handshake anybody. Okay. I'm gonna go like this.
That's Martin and Claire.
Hi guys.
It's here, right?
Up here now.
Yeah.
It moved up.
It's the tour.
Yeah.
Gook.
Yeah.
Tattoo infection.
Oh man, this guy's on it, dude. He's calling out my first band, Silence, calling out thrash bands on me. I'm like, man.
Oh damn. You're like, I forgot about
Did his homework. Yeah. I actually, on tour. I mean, we really like to go around and just kind of get bugged out on like what's around.
See, Cordell looking for the seafront earlier.
Cordell?
Yeah.
And we found it too. I didn't post anything, but there was all these great instruments on that pier in where the hell were we just yesterday? Bournemouth. Boscombe, Bournemouth. Yeah. And so really, it's about exploring, dude. Honestly, and I'll just say it. I have no fear of saying it. I'm a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous for almost 14 years. So I seek out AA meetings as well, and try to. And, I went to one in Glasgow, and it was hilarious, dude. I couldn't understand a fucking word anybody said, but it was like the spirit was there, you know.
Yeah.
And like, you know, as a touring musician, sober touring musician, one may have the tendency to feel alone or lonely.
Yeah.
It's just me, whatever, and that's not the case. For me, it's I am not alone. You know, it's like it's the spirit is right there, like the strength to stay sober and to rock the fuck out is still there.
Is that sort of group easy to find once you're on tour?
Yeah, incredibly. Timing is the thing. You know, sound checks and interviews and meet and greets and show time. That's the thing. And we tend to stay up late. So if there's a noon meeting, I might not get up till 2 because whatever time.
Yeah.
And but they're incredibly easy to find, man. It's unbelievable. I've been to English-speaking meetings in Istanbul, Turkey, Germany, Jerusalem, Australia, all over Europe, England. Yeah, it's amazing. So readily available, especially with this little magic machine.
Yeah. Okay.
The world is right there. Yeah.
Makes you wonder how we manage that.
I can't. And I was sober before this came out.
Yeah.
Find a phone book.
Yeah.
And then you can make a phone call. Beep, boop, boop, boop. Right? That strange phenomenon.
How many guitars do you own, and do you have a favorite?
I own a bunch. I don't know exactly how many, because I've had some endorsements with different companies.
Yeah.
I think I have around 13 or so. Not a collector,
No.
but my favorite guitar, I love my PRS 20th anniversary, Paul Reed Smith. It's probably not my favorite. I have a 59 Les Paul reissue, Wildwood spec that I got fairly recently, and it plays like a dream. I didn't bring it. I was like, I don't want to take it on tour. Too many variables that can cause damage or loss.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite. I'm definitely a Les Paul man.
Have you ever played the original 59 or had a chance to play anyone?
I have. A friend of mine has one, and I played it. It's incredible.
And megabucks, isn't it?
Yeah. It's incredible. Yeah, this one that hit my friends is a custom 59 black custom with the binding, 3 pickups. It's unbelievable. It's unreal.
Do you get a lot of fan mail?
Mail?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Or gifts from the fans?
No, I get some great experiences with the advent of social media.
Yeah.
I get some great connections with people, and I do get some, every now and then. It's really fantastic connections when people, let you know how, musically you've helped them through certain times.
Yeah.
And especially, man, we're all humans. Just because I can play the guitar and I can be creative doesn't make me something that anyone else is not.
Yeah.
It's just an expression of the universe through us. Lots of people play guitar, but what it is a human connection, man. So when I get to sit with somebody or get to meet a fan that's come to a few shows and get to know them a little bit and make a connection. There's a father and daughter that come and see us that 2 years ago had seen us, and the dad brought his 14-year-old daughter to the show, and we're connected on social media or whatever. And then last night, again, there was our second show. They're down in front, and they're fist pumping and singing together and hugging and singing "Cats in the Cradle" to each other, and to see that kind of thing is brilliant. Hi, Klaus. I wish I could get that video in his cute little pajamas. And but I do get some, you can actually see it. People will post it.
Yeah.
And we'll
So
say.
I've been seeing that on your Facebook page. The message. That's how I know about football.
Right.
I've seen the video on there.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah.
What's the first album you ever bought, and do you still have it?
Sheesh. Let me think, man. Yeah, it's so long ago. I definitely still have some old vinyl. Probably, I think I was 12 years old and I bought Journey Frontiers, which is okay to say again, isn't it? It's pretty cool, right?
It's cool.
It's a good album. Yeah.
Yeah. In the mid-90s, it wasn't cool to say that. And I was like, what? I'm not cool? But I play in a band called Snot. I'm cool, right? Yeah, Frontiers. And I saw that tour too, 83, May 2nd, 1983. I was 11.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite 12 years old. I just said I was 12 years old, but now I remember. Yeah, it was 1983, May of 83.
Yeah.
And my mom took me and my best friend to see the show. Rad.
Do you have many venues around where you live then?
Do I what?
Did you have many venues around?
Sure, I live in Santa Monica, California. Yeah, I live right close to Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're spoiled for choice.
Yeah, I don't generally go to Hollywood unless I have to, but there's plenty of cool places around. Yeah. What happens is a certain area gets over popular, and then people are like, it's not cool anymore, and it spreads out to smaller areas, and then other trendy little areas pop up.
So like the Strip is supposed to be the famous, or infamous area.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No one really wants to go there anymore. No one that like of my age or his either. Yeah. But you have to go there sometimes to play. Yeah. Whiskey, Roxy, Viper Room, whatever. Yeah. But it's a very small area. The Strip is only, what is it, 6 blocks maybe?
Yeah.
5. Yeah. 5 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It might not even be that. May not even be 5 blocks. Yeah, it's like it's like a strip from the Rainbow, what used to be the Key Club, down to just past the Viper Room. Yeah. 4 blocks.
I've heard of a lot of these, but obviously no idea what they're like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nightclub. You go there and you're like, it's a nightclub. You might see someone, oh, hey, there's that guy from that band.
Yeah.
You might be stoked on that. Yeah. But it's like, oh, there's that guy from that band. I know, I sound jaded, huh? Like, yeah, whatever.
Which way do you buy your music now? Do you download it or do you buy the CDs?
I can't remember the last time I bought an actual compact disc, 44.1 kilohertz, 16-bit sample rate. I can't tell you the last time I bought a CD, but I purchase music.
Yeah. So what's the most recent thing you purchased?
Ooh, probably something old. I can tell you, with my great technology. Let's see. It was probably, what the hell was it? You know City in Color?
No.
Probably City in Color, which is Dallas Green, who was in Alexis on Fire. Or, it's not going to be some heavy band, unfortunately. Hosier, probably. You know that guy? Take Me to Church.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. There's a huge song. I think he's British or Irish. He'd probably be mad if I said he was British. Yeah, a song called "Take Me to Church" that is not about going to church.
Right.
Church.
I'll come down for that.
Something like that. Yeah. Maybe Nick Cave. Maybe some Nick Cave. Yeah.
It's an interesting mix.
Or some Prince. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last thing I actually bought. I can't remember. I'll like, fire off some songs. I'll just go, ooh, do, and pull them in. Yeah.
So more song than albums.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally, man. Yeah.
How do you relax when you're not on the road?
Meditation.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually a daily thing I try to do. Yeah, and I live in a really nice area where you can go hiking. Yeah. I love my dogs. I'm a big dog lover. And hang out with my dogs. Yeah. I live right by the beach too.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily a beach goer, but I like being around the water. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're quite lucky. We've got a beach down the way.
Close, right? Are you guys from here?
No, we're from way down in Cornwall. Yeah.
Is that farther out on the point?
Yeah, right down, if you go right down to the bottom point, which is Land's End, we're nearly down there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
It's nice until you want to come and see something. You've got to travel all the way.
Right.
Yes. If you could form an all-star band for musicians dead or alive, who would be in it?
Well, Jeff Buckley. Let's see. I mean, I'd probably be a bunch of singers at first. Bon Scott, Keith Moon, Jimi Hendrix. Let's see. Amy Winehouse. I'd have a whole bunch of singers. Yeah. Maybe have Kurt do a cameo. Yeah, it's a pretty good list, huh?
Yeah. Drummer?
Keith Moon.
Of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You love animals.
I do.
Do you have a house full of pets?
I have 3 dogs. Mm-hmm.
Just dogs?
Yeah. Yeah, my ex-wife's a dog trainer, right. And so we had a bunch of dogs. We did have a cat at one point, but the cat was the kind of cat that could hang, where like dogs would try to come up and fuck with him, and he'd be like, dogs just whoa, and he passed on, and we never got another cat. So, yeah, and we have like a little shared custody of our dogs, right. And yeah, so no, I didn't get any cats, yeah, or no other pets.
Yeah.
I'm not into like caging birds or anything like that,
no.
Or even fish. I'm not into, yeah, I'm not like a PETA guy. You know PETA, right?
What?
You know the organization PETA?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, people for the ethical treatment of animals. I think they do a lot of great work to show the ridiculous meat industry and the farming, the factory farming industry, and then they do some crazy shit too. So I'm not necessarily like all animals should just be freed, but I'm also like birds don't belong in cages.
So you're vegetarian with that?
I am.
You are.
Yeah.
What would you be doing if you weren't in a band?
Well, I am doing
Well,
something.
yeah,
Yeah, I work in Rock to Recovery, which if anyone's interested, it's rocktorecovery.org, Rock to Recovery. I'm in this organization with one of the former guitar players of Korn, a guy named Wes Gear, and a bunch. There's 4 other guys, so there's 6 of us total, and so I do that now, and I'm actually going toward getting a certification in drug and alcohol counseling to keep on doing that. As a recovered alcoholic addict myself, I'm uniquely qualified to help people if they want to be helped and change their lives, which is a fantastic position to be in. And I get to use music as the vehicle with which to transmit the message and get people to play music instead of traditional music therapy is kind of analyzing, or maybe you do a little drum circle or something. We actually get people playing and writing and singing together and stuff like that. So so rocktorecovery.org is that. And so that's, I do that, but I'm also a veterinary technician. I work with animals. Generally speaking, when I have to, like when music wasn't paying the bills, I would do that. But now it's another way of music.
Completely different route.
Yeah, unseen. I didn't see that coming.
No.
Though it makes total sense. Yeah. I am uniquely qualified for that position. Yeah. Which is a great thing. And it's not like I'm seeking it to do it to seek fulfillment, but it is fulfilling. Yeah.
And something you can always go back to if you needed to.
Yeah. Both cases, music and animals. Yeah.
I was going to ask if you've got anything to plug, but you've just done it.
Rock to Recovery, baby. Yeah.
I'll put the link to that in the video.
Uglier than they used to be. Although I think we might be handsomer than we used to be. Sadly, ladies, we as men tend to get a little more distinguished looking as we get older. And ladies are like, what? You got old and you get to be handsome? Yeah, sorry. We still love you, ladies. And
I think that's it.
You're right, dude. Great
Thank
to
you
meet
very
you,
much.
man. Thanks for the in-depth questions.
Brilliant, thanks.
I'm so glad you didn't go, so where did I make a joke?